This is the first segment of the graduate student harvest seminar. What do you call it?
Extravaganza.
Harvest extravaganza. So each fall, the graduate students alternate between a symposium that they are the presenters, and then the alternate year they invite people in for meaningful and deep discussion. You ready, Frank, for this? Okay, so the format that we'll use is each speaker will go for about 10 minutes or so, and the topic at this lunch portion of the symposium is open source biology. So it's listed as open source reading, really open source biology, and you'll get a full dose of that. So each panelist will go for about 10 minutes, and I'll stop them at about 12 if they're still going. And then we'll have discussion and questions and discussion back and forth. We'll break up a little after 1 o'clock, and then at 1 o'clock, we'll take a short break, and then we'll go to the small portion of the auditorium for anyone that wants to continue the discussion more in depth. And you're all welcome to come to that as well. So the first speaker is John Navazio. John is the Senior Scientist for Organic Seed Alliance, and Extension Plant Breeding and Seed Specialist for Washington State University. He uses really long sentences. His field work includes increasing genetic breadth in several vegetable crops for their nutritional quality, flavor, texture, ability to scavenge nutrients, compete with weeds, and resist heat and drought. He teaches farmers, university students, and others in organic seed production and the fundamentals of participatory on-farm plant breeding for organic systems. John develops participatory breeding projects with farmers across North America to improve crop germplasm for regional seed independence. And he's housed right over here in Fort Townsend. So let's welcome John. Up here, John.
Oh, okay. Sit there and move. My voice might feel like the ground. Okay. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we do at Organic Seed Alliance. Steve already said in my very nice intro there that I do have a co-appointment with WSU, so I'm also a state organic seed specialist, extension specialist with organic seed. So any of you ever know anyone who's attempting to grow a commercial organic seed crop, I am the go-to person. So not everyone in the state knows that WSU system. But I'm essentially housed at Organic Seed Alliance, called OSA, and I will give you a little germplasm issues. So we essentially have three realms at OSA we work on. Education, which Michaela Colley, our executive director, and I basically oversee, and essentially probably a majority of our work is training farmers how to commercially produce organic seed crops for real farm scale economic kind of production. Both skills and suitability of crops for their farm, and we do a lot of trials and cooperative projects surrounding that. And then I also work with farmers in education, training them how to do on-farm plant breeding. And that ties in with essentially our whole research wing, number 2, which is breeding crops for organic systems and organic cultural techniques. And a lot of that is also the on-farm part of the research. Almost all of my plant breeding is on-farm, classical plant breeding, of course, done in very, hopefully we like to think elegant, but simple true field breeding, which has been very successful. And it's participatory in that the farmers are really co-partners in this. And a lot of my work really is not so much doing my own plant breeding where I'm developing my own varieties, but doing it within the realm of working specifically with farmers who really direct the research. a lot of the farmers that we work with have identified the fact that they feel like they really are not getting the crop varieties and the specific crops that they work with that they truly need for their organic systems. They feel like they're often using varieties that are 15 to 20 years old and kind of frustrated that the normal treadmill of plant breeding that used to turn out new things that were really applicable to their needs is really broken down sometimes in the past 10 or 15 years. And then we certainly do research around organic breeding methodology. What does it truly mean to breed for organic systems? And there's quite a bit of debate on that. And so hopefully we're asking all the right questions here and testing out things. What does it really mean to breed something that works better under organic cropping systems than conventional? Lastly, we work a lot on advocacy, and some of you may have heard about Organic Seed Alliance through our advocacy work, as simple as organic certification and helping set the standards, questioning what standards are restrictive. We don't believe that everyone who is certified organic need use organic seed immediately. There has to be a transitional period, and essentially how do we do that sanely so that growers in fact get really appropriate varieties that are certified organic, and that they're not forced to use organic seed of varieties that are not appropriate to their cropping systems. And we work with the USDA often on rules and regulations and that sort of thing. We're often thrust into the liaison role. And as you know, some of you may know, Matthew Dillon, our former head of advocacy, has stepped down to work with Cliff Bar on a whole project called Seed Matters, which is essentially a research forum, a gathering of public resources that can be directed towards organic seed issues. So we're working with industry started by Cliff Bar Company, for those of you who have heard of Cliff Bar. They're very good about putting a certain amount of their profits towards different organizations in the nonprofit realm that work on food issues. And so a lot of that work and some startup money there, as well as a grant, led to Organic Seed Alliance leading a State of the Organic Seed report, which will finally be out next month, is pretty revolutionary, looking at many different aspects of what do we really need in organic seed, how do we move this forward, and what's available and how much our stakeholders using organic seed, which has been more limited than we'd like to see it until now. Give me a couple minutes going here. I want to hit on a couple of these important points. So out of the State of Organic Seed report, which essentially took a year and a half, it was quite the document, and actually not a boring read at all. It says a lot about the direction of organic agriculture in America. We've identified 4 areas to form working groups around. The issues of contamination with GM is one of them. The concentration of seed in the seed industry, something we all know is a problem, and I think will come up in our discussion, because it is pertinent to the intellectual property rights issues. Certainly the need for intellectual property rights among all of us, among the farmers mostly, other than the big gene giants that they're now. I read in Jack's paper the other day, that's the new term, he said that, gene giants. And then we also have a working group on organic plant breeding. So let me just tell you quickly what that is. We're essentially getting together and engaging diverse stakeholders to develop and pilot alternative open source models for licensing agreements where essentially we can have unrestricted, restricted and unrestricted is something I'm sure we're going to hit on what point it is, but essentially models where we have sharing, which there is not total restriction of genetic resources, and where there still is enumeration or some sort of payback for the innovation from the innovators. Collaborative breeding, trying to foster collaborative breeding, is essentially ultimately resulting in superior genetic resources or crop varieties for organic agriculture. So that's my way of timely.